From Studio A in Texas, USA, it's the award-winning all things automotive car talk show in Wheel Time. Just ahead, a review of our pre-owned car of the week, the 2017 Cadillac ATS. A look at some upcoming racing events you might be interested in, plus Konrad's Car Clinic and the stories making automotive news headlines. That and more just ahead on today's In Wheel Time car show for Saturday, January 30th, 2021. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world Mars, King Konrad DeLong. Jeff Dziekan's right off camera, but you'll be seeing him here shortly. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. It's been an interesting hour, the first hour of the show, and now it is going to continue with hour number 2. God, I hope that this works out for all of us.
It's up to you. You have all the buttons to make all the noises and music.
Is that
and
impressive?
commercials. I wish you had some, like a rim shot or a horn honk or something like that. But again, we don't yet. We're not high tech enough.
No, if I could find the time, well, I have the time, to be honest with you. It's just my laziness. Because there are plenty of sound effects that I could put into our little gizmo here. But I didn't really want to go that way.
Because I'd be pushing the button.
Yeah, you'd be going, hit the button, hit the button, hit the button.
No, we'd slide it over here so I could push the button.
Oh, God, no. No. I know our limitations.
Actually, what we should do is let George push the button.
That's what we should do.
That would entertain all of us.
Yep, that's exactly right.
It would definitely be entertaining.
George, do you ever come to Houston? If you ever come to Houston, you must be a guest on the show. We'll just have you in studio here. Mars will get up and he can do his thing over there.
Yeah.
And we'll have you.
It'll be worth watching.
Yes, exactly. And we could all just leave and let him do the show. So
And he probably could.
I know that he could.
It would be a 5-hour show, though.
All in 3 hours.
And we would learn how to knit Bernie Sanders mittens. The 10 highest auction sales of 2020. Now, that's before we get into all of this. I kind of blew it because when we were off air, I kind of gave away what they are. But Jeff, what would you say are the 10 highest auction sales of 2020? Now, don't just think United States or domestic 3. This is worldwide. This is global, okay? 10 highest auto auction sales.
Well, we're talking about the auction itself or a car in the auction?
Well, cars in the auction.
Okay.
What?
Well, because we talk about
part of that did
Mika make Kiss Me. They do
That's
like
Kissimmee,
millions. Kissimmee. They do millions there at that particular show.
No, I understand that.
Kissimmee.
So,
Yeah, Kissimmee too.
okay, that's it. I'm out.
We're gone. Info at InWheelTime.com.
No. Better yet, it'd be Mars at InWheelTime.com.
Well, for me, and I know you went through the list, but I would think Ferrari, some kind of Ferrari would be top of the list. And then there are those cars that start at those really uber high prices that when they do finally come to auction, retain that higher price.
Well, then there's the one-offs, too, like the Bullet car that sold for...
Well, you mentioned that. Yeah. And so the Mecum and Kissimmee, the Bullet Mustang, the
real Bullet Mustang.
It just says the original Bullet Mustang.
Yeah, it was in the movie.
That would be $3.74 million. $3.74 million.
I like that car, but
and
not
that didn't
much.
make the list.
Did you see the car? The car
It was a beater.
Oh, I saw it in
ratted
Detroit. Ford had it up there as part of their display once they kind of got their hands on
Well,
it
the
and figured
preview
it
to
out.
it was a driver, everyday daily driver for years. It
Well,
needed
think about what they
exhaust.
did to the car in the movie.
Yeah.
And then
seriously.
it's set up for quite a while.
Yeah.
So
The first C8 Corvette brought $3 million for charity in Scottsdale.
And the Kissimmee Mecum auction they just had back in January of this year, they sold Carroll Shelby's personal 427 Cobra for $5.4 million. But I know that didn't make the list either.
No. Didn't
are you
make the
kidding
list.
me?
No, it didn't.
I'm thinking Hemi cars and things. And
Yeah, like I said,
Not even close.
don't just keep this American, okay? This is global now.
Well, that's why I said Ferrari. There's always some Uber.
Okay, so you ready to
super
go down the
high-level
list?
Ferrari.
Here's number 10.
Let's go down the list.
Czechoslovakian-
Let's go up the list.
Up the list, okay? Starting at number 10.
We can
a
go
nine-
up yours.
I've had that done many times.
Easy.
1971 Lamborghini Miura,
Beautiful car.
a P400 SV Speciale.
Had a transverse mounted V12 behind the driver. So instead of it being longitudinally mounted. It was mounted sideways and sat behind the car. Kind of the Miura was the start of the supercar.
How do you know all this stuff?
I was thinking the same thing.
Because I'm just a car nut.
1971 Lamborghini Miura sold for $4,257,007. Wow.
Yep.
A lot.
Probably cost $6,000 when it was new.
Number 9, a 2001 Ferrari 550 GT1 Pro Drive. I've never heard of it.
Wow.
Sold for $4,290,000 at RM Sotheby's Shift Monterey in August of last year.
Which would have been at the Pebble Beach event.
Correct. 1950. This is number 8. 1953 Alfa Romeo BAT5. I have no clue what
That's
that
a
is.
small little
You
car.
would know it when you saw it.
Yeah, it's a
because
tiny little car.
it was kind of this little winged bubble top thing. It was pretty cool.
Well,
We should have had pictures of these to go along.
Well, we
with
didn't know.
I didn't know either. We were supposed to have a guest here, and so we're having to fill the time. And I thought that this would be a good thing.
No, it's a good story. Good.
Yeah. And I was
you go.
actually looking forward to this guest.
Picture, Conrad.
Of all the guests that we had today, not to put down any of the other ones, but I was actually looking forward to this particular guest. And his name was Jose Evans. Jose, if you're listening,
Oh, God. Send your comments to Don at inwheeltime.com.
so the number 7 would be the 1954 Alfa Romeo BAT7. $4,946,666.
Yeah, there was a whole series of those cars.
Now,
Yeah.
you said that this is just worldwide, so it really doesn't. Does it have the auction name that they sold at? or-
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
I've
still
got all that.
Southwest.
Does anybody really care? Anyway,
None of this was Meekum.
no. No, they were not. This is another RM Sotheby's auction. And I don't remember where it's in here somewhere. It's a lot of information. that
Everybody
nobody
at
really
RM
cares.
Sotheby's is wearing suits. And they don't scream and yell and hoot and holler like they do at Meekum.
Very expensive suits. Italian made.
Italians. The cars are Italian made.
So I did the BAT 7 and the BAT D9. Now we're going to move to car number 5. Moving up the list. A 1931 Bugatti Type 55 Super Sport by Figioni.
Okay.
Or they call him
Fagoni.
It could be, or it could be Fig for short. Old Fig.
Oh, Fig.
Fragile.
Fig-
Fragile.
And his son, Newton.
Newton.
Fig Newton.
Fig Newton. That
Well,
car,
and the Bugatti doesn't surprise me.
that car sold for $5,051,054. That was at Bonhams.
That's another high end. Yeah.
Number 4, the 1928 Bugatti Type 35C. Now, look, I appreciate all these cars. I really do. But they're just not for me. It's not my style. I don't like the way they look. Just not me. I don't care. But somebody does, to the tune of $5,224,483. The number 3 car, the 1932 Bugatti Type 55 Super Sport. I like those Bugattis. Not that much.
That's like a D'Elegance vehicle.
$7,100,000.
That's a big jump from 5, yeah.
The number 2 car, the 1937 Bugatti Type 57S Atalante.
Yeah, and that people would know that car if they saw that car. They did a replica of that car on Restoration Garage in the early part of the series, where they made their own version of it.
Oh, I saw that, yes.
Is that one of those they put on a Volkswagen frame?
No. But it's a real long nose and kind of a bubble split window back on it.
It
real,
took them years to hammer out this body.
Yep, and they actually ended up taking the one that they built to some high-level show like Pebble Beach or something.
But that is a
as
cool
well.
show. That's one of that's one that I do
Well,
watch.
they do some pretty high-line cars.
Number 2, I guess I gave that, didn't I? The Bugatti 57S
32.
Atalante.
Yeah.
$433,956.
Yeah, and there's probably only 2 or 3 of those ever built.
I think in these kind of cars, my favorite would be the Delahaye.
Oh, yeah.
That whole Art Deco era of cars is just beautiful. And if you think about the metal work, because that was all hand-formed metal, the craftsman it took to build some of those with all those swoopy lines and stuff.
Oh, my God, and those huge fender wells. Do
you know what you don't hear about? The $7 million 32 Bugatti, turning it into a resto mod. That would be cool.
Yeah. Well, you would just lose your butt on that one, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah,
and
you
taking
would.
it to
But
Meekum.
now I watched Meekum Kissimmee that just went Kissimmee. You got me going, Mars. Kissimmee that just went through.
He's from Niederville, so pay no attention.
And the resto-modded C2 Corvettes, 63 through 67, the resto-modded C2 Corvettes drew more money than the originals.
But that's a Corvette. I'm talking like the Bugatti.
I know, but who would take a 63 Corvette split window and resto mod it?
It's probably
Well,
in
a
really
lot
bad
of
shape.
people. A lot of
And
people will, because I know where there's one sitting down there in Port Acres, and it's got
Port Acres?
yes,
It's
got a
next
whole
to
new
Green
frame.
Acres.
Well, he bought a body. He found a body. Literally found a body. So he started from frame up. Well, you try and build it back original.
It's not
It's like a
numbers matching.
monstrous
Yeah,
fortune.
yeah.
And you can't drive it. Well, he wants to drive it. So he's got a frame. He had a frame built for it. He's got the fuel-injected engine. I mean, he's got it resto-modded so that he could drive it.
And his wife, Ellie Mae.
Yeah.
No, that was
Hillbillies.
Beverly Hillbillies. Well, one of the resto-modded 63 Corvettes at Meekum went for $250,000, where a real 63 Fuelie went for like 140.
Yeah, but you can't get in that original real one and drive it from here to New Orleans for the weekend.
True.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can, but
Really
Maybe.
careful.
would you want
exactly.
to? Would you
Yeah.
want to do your $250,000 resto-modded one too? No. You trailer it over to cruising the coast, and if it wasn't raining, you'd pull it out of the trailer. But generally, you're not
you
going
got to see some of that stuff go through there. I headed that away.
Oh, they're cruising the coast. It's got some great iron.
I've
The
been to that
number
one.
So tell us number one, Don. We've
All right.
wandered off the reservation here.
You have. And do you know or care? You want to venture a guess of what kind of
I'll say some kind of one-off Ferrari.
you?
Yeah, if you leave the Hemi cars, I'm lost.
Aston Martin.
No.
No.
Another
not over
Bugatti.
Well, yeah.
The number one car, 1934 Bugatti Type 59 sports car, called Sports. It went for, at the Gooding and Company, $12,666,600. Devil had something to do with that, apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah.
You talk about having disposable income,
12.
because that's not a car you're going to do anything with.
Other than put it,
Put it in the garage.
Diaper and put it in the garage and leave it in there, because I imagine it needs to have a diaper underneath it
Yeah.
because it leaks
And then in a year, sell it at another auction.
for another extra $1 million if the market holds. And right now, I'm not real sure the market's holding.
True.
Especially in Mars's muscle car Hemi world, because they sold a 70 Hemi Cuda at Meekum for it didn't hit reserve at $500,000. So the highest bid was $500,000 for 70 Hemi Cuda. Wasn't a vert, but still, those Hemi Cudas were going super high dollar not that long ago. So value is however much somebody is willing to pay for it. Somebody was willing to pay $12 million for a Bugatti.
$666,000. Yeah.
34. That was a good year.
Yeah. For what? Wine?
I'm sitting here thinking, what I would do if I had $12 million, the kind of car.
You wouldn't be buying that. I can tell you
could
that.
build a heck of a car collection.
What?
And call it the Hemi Hideout.
There you go.
And actually take those cars out for a drive.
Once in a while, yeah.
John does that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Can't wait till he opens back up. John, if you're watching today, give us an idea as if you have plans of this year opening back up. No, you don't think so? You think they're gonna? Well, I mean, they just
There
gotta
was a
protect
story that
themselves
I
and
don't
everybody
even know
else.
if I've got it, but the story is that the 2021 Detroit Auto Show has now been canceled.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Who cares? It's Detroit. They were
Yeah,
going
but that's
to
always-
have it in June.
No,
Motor
they
City.
pushed it back.
To June something.
No, they pushed it back to the fall.
Oh, did they?
They downsized it.
Done.
Yeah,
Well, I heard
done.
that was when they were supposed to introduce the new
It's
Z06
going to
Corvette.
be September of 2022.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Detroit's generally in January.
Well,
Was.
they this year
Generally, 'cause
it
I've
was-
been
Yeah,
there
but
many
they'd
times.
put it all. They'd swap the time on it.
They
later.
changed the whole thing,
Yeah,
actually.
been to many of them over the years.
It's not at Cobo Hall anymore.
Right,
it's
I
an
know.
outdoor event.
Well, who
They-
wants to go to January?
Who the hell wants to
Well,
go
I
to
did.
Cobo
Detroit,
Hall?
July in
You
January.
go up there. That's my 2 days worth of snow that I get once a year.
Who wants to go to Detroit?
I
Really?
lived up there.
Any time of the year.
Why are you here?
Well, I lived
That's-
up there
that's
for
the-
22 years.
because
I
that's
came
why
down
you're
here,
here.
and I'm still not thawed out.
Oh, hi, Suze.
No, there's the
baby.
Suze.
What you doing? Did you just come in
Anyway.
and check, make sure that we're all here?
Yeah, I think almost all the car shows they're either back into the fall of this year or they're already canceled this
yeah.
year.
And again, that's everybody's still waiting to see what's going on with the
And
virus.
the schedules and stuff. I mean, Houston's now out to 22, and I don't think they've got a good date for 22 yet.
What they should do is have the vaccine
Well,
at a
it'd
car
be easy
show.
because they know they're not going to be. Texans aren't going to be in the Super Bowl.
They ought to
There
have.
won't be any more Texans. They're going to sell them to Neaterville.
Yeah, we could use them. We got a stadium that'll hold 17,000 people.
Yeah,
There
but
you go,
you guys
perfect.
also have a state champion football team, don't you?
Well, it's next door.
Okay.
The town next door, but we play them once a year.
They should have the vaccine at a car show. That'll draw the attention.
Yeah. Well, hopefully in January of 2022, we'll be starting to get back to what it's supposed to be.
Well, I think that's when Rochelle said right now that's what they're looking at for the Houston Auto Show. I mean, that would be their natural date, and they're not even going to try and do anything between now and then.
Yeah, it makes
Of course,
sense.
that's all based on the rodeo falling back to their normal time frame and the facility NRG becoming available.
And Lena Hidalgo allowing all of that.
Yeah, there's lots
Lena
of
Hidalgo.
ifs. Lots of Fs.
Yeah. All right. So that was the 10 highest auction sales of 2020. I don't even know why we talk about 2020. I want 2020 to
forget
go
about
away
it.
forever. Forget about it.
Forget about it. All right.
Did you have something else that you wanted to squeeze in?
Nope. That was
Well, thanks a lot.
most of my. Well, that was most. We got my colors and cars, so I got all of that.
That
and
went over like a fan dancer in a wind tunnel.
Fandango at a wind tunnel.
Fan dancer.
All right.
I have something.
Cool.
6 subtle, stealthy upgrades to modernize your class. Oh, I'm sorry. Your classic.
I was fixing to say.
Don has no class.
I have no class.
So how are you going to modernize
It
it?
needs 10 steps.
You see the little paper clip right there. It covered the
I
ick,
see.
the ick at the end.
So, well, you're going to expand it to 7. First is to empty your trunk.
No, that would be for you.
Yeah.
Not me. I don't have a trunk, so we don't have to worry
Have
about
a
it.
Corvette.
The next time he has that, we got to video the trunk.
Yeah, no thanks.
Let's see. There's something here about a 64 Oldsmobile Cutlass, but I don't want to do that. What you can do is you can update the suspension, going just a little bit lower with the suspension, which I did with the
It helps the
Corvair.
looks of a car.
Along with larger anti-roll bars to limit body roll can make a 60s boat handle like a much newer car. That kind of classic bolt-on suspension is totally reversible, doesn't do anything for the value or take away from it. So it's an easy thing to do.
And when doing that, especially on stabilizer bars, is to change the bushings on the
Correct.
stabilizer bars, because the stabilizer bars back in those days were all rubber. And now they make a neoprene bushing that'll really stiffen up the ride, but also keep you
Still
from
give that flexibility.
tilting and stuff, and
Right.
and getting off angle.
Now, I don't know about this one, but I bet you that you would like to have your original seats heated and cooled.
No, I'm not a fan of cooled seats at all. I've had them in company cars, and it's weird because it almost feels like you if they're cooled before you get in, it almost feels like you sit in a wet puddle of water.
It feels damp
Yeah.
whenever you use it. Now, the
And
heated,
it's-
I could definitely go for heated, but
You don't need to have that in your seats anyway, because you just feel that way all the time.
He's just hot.
He's looking over here at you, Jeff.
No,
Looking at me.
you.
Angie's got heated seats in the Mercedes.
Well, I like heated seats.
I do like heated seats.
Do
Cool
you-
ones, I don't really care.
Conrad, do you use heated seats?
Nope.
You know,
I just fart in them.
Because it probably smells like tuna casserole then.
Yeah. I'd like to have, my truck doesn't have heated seats. It's the only
I
thing
have
I'm missing.
nothing
I
to
wish
do
I
with
had.
this. Just
And I
listen,
may
man.
end up
Just listen.
trying to do I'm thinking about trying to do an upgrade and add the heated seats to it.
Well, I
To
think
what?
you have to
To my
actually-
truck, my 2015 Ram.
I think you
That's
have
the
to
only
just
thing.
Add the whole seat.
Yeah, you
It's
have to-
not just a matter of putting a waffle iron underneath it.
Or a heating pad.
A waffle iron.
Well, I say that I ended up doing a
Oh, good God.
liability.
Here we go.
A liability investigation for General Motors back when they first came out with heated seats, and literally, and we had to see the pictures of this guy, and I guess when heated seats first came
my
out,
mind is already there.
they didn't have an automatic timer on them. They didn't just turn off. So if you turned them on and drove from here to Dallas, when you got to Dallas, the seat stayed hot the whole time. Well, this poor guy ended up, you could see the gridding of the heated seat had kind of given him a third-degree burn on his lower
Derriere.
back and his butt. And
It's like those beads the cab drivers would put on their seats. You know, the air.
yeah,
beads.
except I think GM paid the guy some money on the deal because it
So you
really
got
had-
to see this guy's butt.
No, I didn't see it in real life.
No, I know, but you saw pictures of it.
Yes, his attorney provided us.
His last
photographs
name
of
wasn't Jackson, was it?
No, it wasn't. And then it was right after that they put a timer on the heated seats, and now they're on for a period of time, and then they automatically turn.
Now on
themselves
mine, it's got 3 levels. You've got your like the back of your legs, you got the buttocks area, and then you got your lower back.
lumbar,
so
right.
the lumbar area.
off.
Right.
But they all time out.
Here's another
yeah.
upgrade. Here's another upgrade for your car. Disc brakes. Disc brakes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because if you got it, do you have disc brakes in the front of yours?
Mine came with disc brakes, but it was an option in 1970,
Right.
as it was, because most cars back then came with 4 drums.
GM began rolling out its HEI ignition system in '74 with a long-lasting electronic module that didn't require any maintenance. Ignition curves were still set by a centrifugal weight and spring system, but if you like to tailor your ignition curve to the engine, an aftermarket digital ignition box can handle that for you. The Cutlass that we're talking about here, the Cutlass uses an HEI from a later production Olds V8, making the install simple.
I have HEI on the Rally.
Do you?
Yep.
So somebody made that conversion.
Correct. And I like that because, yes, I know how to set points and I know how to replace condensers, but I don't want to.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's something you have to maintain. You have to work on it all the time. In HEI, you don't.
Here's one, and this is for you, and you're going to do this. Put an overdrive in it
Yes.
because this particular transmission was a 204R 4-speed from the early 80s that the guy swapped in there.
It's a bolt, almost a bolt-in for the Turbo 350.
Yeah. $2,000, 1 day's work, you're done.
Yeah, and I think the length of the transmission's the same. I think it's within a ½ inch of itself. The only thing you have to do is move the transmission mount back about 6.5 inches, but the length of the transmission's the same. So where the mount is in the tail.
And you
shaft.
have factory AC.
I have factory AC.
It's not that big clunky thing hanging underneath the middle of the dash.
Oh, no. It's factory AC.
So adding AC to a classic car can be easy if it's a popular model with a strong aftermarket. If not, you might have to get creative. Vintage Air makes underdash ACs for dozens of popular models. About $1,500 and do it yourself. Take you a weekend.
Do you have the big canister frigid air? Or you got the small round one.
No, I've got the A6, the big long one.
big tube.
Yeah, but you got to think that the A6 compressor takes about 40 horsepower to run.
Huh.
But it will throw ice at you when everything's working. And then the R4, which is what you have on your. No, you got the DA6. You got the later generation, but there was another one, a big round one,
Right.
called the R4 on on the GMs that took about 18 horsepower to run. So as they were trying to do things in air conditioning systems, they were trying to reduce the engine load, because if they can reduce the engine load, they could increase the fuel economy.
Well, that's why you'd always turn off the air if you wanted some power to uphill or race.
Well, on most cars back then, even the non-computer cars, the AC compressor generally would have a shut-off switch at wide open throttle.
Is that horsepower still hold up to today, or are they less?
Oh, no, they're much less. I think air conditioning systems now are probably drawing somewhere less than 10 horsepower. And then you got to look at some cars, the air conditioning system is actually run electrically.
True. Yeah.
You know, on those cars that have the auto start-stop feature,
Oh, God.
a lot of times the AC is run off of an electric motor driving an AC compressor.
Would you like to do your car review? Because
Sure.
I've got it listed here that
Yeah,
it's time
why
to
not?
do that.
Yeah, we're running just a tad behind, but
Yeah, we are.
Mike, you want to take this over, or all right?
I thought that you guys had it all set up that you didn't
yeah,
have
but
to
Mike's
do
got
that.
to do the switching for him.
Mike's got to do the switching.
Oh, okay. So,
Let me get my.
see, this is a very kind of a one-man band operation here. So each of us have certain things that we do during the show that you don't really
Until
care
we
about.
can't.
Until we can't, or some huge malfunction, or some sort of internet glitch, or whatever it is.
Pick one.
Pick one.
Well, I'm going to pick this one because this is a 2017 Cadillac ATS V6. Now, kind of threw you a curve because the V6 is the V.
The V.
It's the V, and it's a beautiful car.
Yeah, it is.
And the reason why I'm doing this is because John and I talked last week. He says, do another Cadillac. I said, well, okay, why not?
Now, this is the Camaro version of this particular chassis.
Yeah, sort of, kind of. Yeah.
Well, it's
It
this
is, yeah.
particular car is built on the Camaro chassis
platform.
either the 4-door or the 2. You know, they just stretch it.
The C6.
And then this is the 4-door, and I don't know, you can't see
C6.
Camaro.
Oh, okay.
So it's an ATS 4-door. They also make a 2-door. It's an ATS V. It's a 5-passenger vehicle. It's a pretty vehicle. I like that shot right there. Exterior features, obviously, you've got the wheels. You've got the rear spoiler. You've got the aluminum wheels, performance tires, the big open grille that you just saw there, and very stylish. Sort of it's the Cadillac's version of a Euro, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then improvements. They improve them all the time, year over year. And if you want to move the shot, we'll get into the interior side of it because I've got some special stuff coming up toward the end. You got leather seating, heated and cooled seats with the lumbar, Konrad. You've got a leather wrapped steering wheel, which is also heated. I have that in mine. It's a great thing. I never wear gloves like Bernie.
Mittens.
Heated power mirrors. You got the rain sensing wipers, HID headlights, heads up display also, which I like. I don't have
like
one on
heads-up
I
display.
do as well.
Right.
I think it's neat.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a fighter pilot. Premium sound. You got the Wi-Fi hotspot, 7-inch display screen on that. Now that pod that you see there is the exact same one I have in my SRX. So
Which in the ATS they really changed. Remember in the CTS, the previous generation CTS, it elevated from the top of the dash and went down in. The integration into the dash it just makes sense. I never liked that rise.
It looked hokey. It looked aftermarket. It looked not good. But this is great. Now everything in that car is run through that head right there. So I've had a couple replaced over the years of mine with failures of whatever the computer and such. But everything is run through that. So with this, moving on to the next one, it's a V6 turbo, and the horsepower is 464 at 5850
How
RPM.
much?
464.
Horsepower?
Yes, at 5850 RPM.
Oh, my God.
Actually, I think it's a twin turbo.
Yes, it's a twin turbo. Yes, I did say single. I apologize. And then the torque is 445 foot-pounds of torque.
Picture
at
that
35.
engine is not the turbo engine.
No, it is not. But that's what's available on the site. You can get an 8-speed auto or a 6-speed manual in this, which the 6-speed is generally the option is the automatic.
Right.
It's not mandatory, but they come with a 6-speed manual. 17 miles per gallon on the city, 23 on the highway, 19 is the average. Now, I get 19 on mine.
Faster than warm cow slobber on a brass doorknob.
Oh, nice. Nice. I like
Good
that.
Lord.
Nice.
Did you bring that down here from up north?
No, but the ATS-V was a fun car to drive.
It bounced
They didn't
around.
sell. They didn't sell any of them.
Yeah, they sold.
They
all
didn't sell any
wanted.
of the ATSs.
No,
it's a
yeah.
real shame.
Not enough. It's a
Well,
good little
the
car.
ATS also, the 2-liter, they sold a lot of those.
Right.
The 4-cylinder 2-liter, yeah.
And it also came in a coupe.
Yes,
came in a
absolutely.
2-door as
And you
well.
can tell by the back, the rear end look of it with the exhaust layout on the coupe versus
If it
a
was
4-door.
if it was a V.
Right. Active suspension, magnetic ride, McPherson struts, all that good stuff. Now, because it's a 2017, it is a V. It's a performance vehicle, 25.4.
That's a steal for
I was
that
going to say
car.
that's probably
With
less than half the price of a new one.
52,000 miles. Absolutely. Now, if you wanted to go with the 4-cylinder,
$52,000.
52,000 miles, $25,400.
Okay.
So it is a steal. It's a bargain.
And
for the
actually,
V6.
Cadillac raced that car.
Oh, I was going to wear my racing shirt.
Ooh, look, there's some logos. What
We're
do you got
getting
in
into
there?
that. One more thing. If you want to get the 4-cylinder at 17.9 with 49,000 miles on it,
Hell no.
I've got my list of stuff here for the logos. Now, the Cadillac logo, there was a gentleman by the name of Anton de Lamothe Cadillac in 1902. He came to the States. He touted that he was part of the Royal French family, which he was not. This is, over the years, they designed it by a coat of arms, and some folks thought that Christopher Columbus actually designed it, but he didn't. This person was more of a scammer coming over, but he did have an influence on the Cadillac Detroit, Cadillac County, Cadillac City in Detroit. It's a coat of arms in America, and bottom line is that there's several things for it.
Is this a long story?
Yeah, it's going to go on for days.
Is there a handshake involved?
No, there's no handshake. But the Cadillac logo contains a wide range of colors, including black, red, gray, yellow, silver, and blue. Mm-hmm. Every color has its own special meaning. They symbolize creativity, excellence, passion, grandeur, business responsibility that was established by the automaker.
Okay. Well,
There you go.
Somebody in the marketing department did their job, I guess.
In '96, they dropped the Merlettes.
Yes.
Because remember, they used
Well,
to have,
Mike could
they
go
used
the
to have
shot
a little
of-
duck in them, and they're
Perfect.
they're duckless.
Yeah. Perfect.
Oh, God, we don't want to even go there. Hey, the In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, Pandora, Amazon, and Podcast Addict. In Wheel Time Car Show continues right after this quick break. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, February 20th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free, and everyone's invited. You will see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all at one location. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupi founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, February 20th, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Lupi's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in, February 20th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupi's in Katy, weather permitting.